Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Dark Anime Robin. In this video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the Transformers Deluxe action figure of Aerialbot Slingshot from the Transformer Age of the Primes series. And before we open up the case, let's see what details it shows us. So on the front here, through the transparency, we can see the majority of the main action figure itself in the robot mode. Here we got a picture, again in robot mode, and this is a picture of his vehicle mode or jet mode. And here, this is telling us this is actually one part of set, and Aerialbot is this. So this is like a remake of a G1 Transformer character, and Slingshot is part of a Autobot subgroup called Aerialbot, who, unlike most of Autobots, transform into some kind of airplane or aerial vehicle instead of ground vehicle or cars. And another specialty about this group is that they combine into a giant form that is called Superion. And this information here shows us there's gonna be probably five characters, and Slingshot is the second of that set, which again, when put together, will form Superion. And on the side here, we have a picture of a Superion. On the other side, we have a picture of three of the original primes, and up there we have their individual symbols or insignia. And back again, we have a picture of the figure in his robot mode and his jet plane mode. And it looks like it takes 17 steps to transform this figure back and forth between robot and his vehicle mode. So it looks like that's all the details we're getting just by looking at the case. And now let's get the figure out. So here we have the figure on the card, and this pack here likely containing his blaster weapons and the instruction manuals here. Let's first cut the figure loose. Now let's first check out the instruction manual here. So at the start, we have how to set up the figure by doing a little minor transformation on its feet. And of course, the gun is just to be held on its hands. And now we have the instruction for how to change from the robot mode to his vehicle mode. And so all these steps complete the change into this jet mode or fighter mode. And lastly, this shows us where the weapons go in this vehicle form, like right under the wings. And looks like to form Superion, this figure will become one of the arms. So now let's first stand up the figure like the instruction manual showed. Just same to have to flip up the feet and pull this part back. And then we just pull the legs open. There we go. And the guns or blaster, just have to put it in the figure's hands. And looks like it has a little tweaking has to be done for it to go in. There we go. Now let's explore this figure's articulation in the robot mode. You can turn its head left and right easily, no problem. And some minor articulation for looking down. And maybe kind of look up, although not fully. You can always bend its upper body backwards. So the legs articulation, so it can mimic looking up. Now let's see. With the arms, you can just raise laterally like this. And the forearms, you can also turn or rotate. This way, you can have it do some kind of fist fight or boxing pose. Although its hands seem to be just completely solid in place, so no articulation for the hands themselves. The leg can kick up 90 degrees forward. and backward. The legs can raise on the sides too, and the thigh can turn inward or outward. The feet can also kind of move this way, so this helps putting any form of stance you want this figure to take. Well, at least almost any forms of stance. It also helps balance the figure in any stance. And because these wing structure on the back of the feet, this figure would have very good balance for standing. With this articulation, you can have the figure put on many different kind of poses, especially if you wanted to do some kind of cool looking gunfighting pose. There's also additional articulation so that it can turn around its waist. So again, it helps with posing for gunfights. This covers this figure's basic feature in the robot mode. Now let's transform it into the jet mode. Now we first begin the transformation by turning the head backwards, and here's like the landing wheel from the jet mode. You just have to pull it down from the back of the head. And now we lift the arms up. We turn the arm backwards, bend it up like this. Now here's a tricky part in the next step. See this hole there on the arm and this hinge here? You have to fit the hole into it like this. Do the same on this side. And then on the back you pull the head of the plane up like this, and then you pull it down. See these hinges on the side of this, either side of the plane, and here's the opening that you have to fit them to. Now the front section of the plane is complete. Next, put the legs together, pull the feet down, you pull the back of the feet also down here. Now you complete the tail of the plane. Now you pull these panel on the legs down. And then you close the panel. Then you put on the wings. Now the jet mode. is completed. And now the next step to 100% completed, we put the blasters under the wings. Go. So here we have a white fighter jet, and unfortunately it does not have pretty much any workable feature in this form, so it's just basically looking good. And for anyone to mimic having a flying vehicle going around, one minor move it can make is that at least the weapons or the blaster, it can still turn, so can like this helps you kind of mimic aiming at some kind of target. But beyond that, that's the extent of the what this figure can do in this jet mode. So that's the basic feature for this figure in both robot and vehicle mode. Overall, it's a very nice action figure, and it should be good to any fan who likes to collect Transformers, especially if you're looking for one that transforms into an aerial vehicle instead of ground vehicle. And I believe this figure functions very well on its own. So again, if you're a collector who wants a transformer or specifically an Autobot that changes into a aerial vehicle instead of ground vehicle, and if your parents is randomly looking for a present for your kid, and especially a transformer that transform into a jet, this would be a good choice. But ultimately, this figure is one piece of the puzzle that with the rest of the aerial bots, they become Superion. So it'd be like without all of the set, it won't be able to form its combiner, the Superion. So if you decide to get this figure, you may want to prepare to collect the rest of the set as well, which could take both more money and time. Something you have to prepare for. And once again, this figure, along with the rest of the other aerial bots from the combiner set, is like remake of original G1 aerial bots. So if you never got any of the previous release action figure of the aerial bot set, this figure and the rest of its set will present a second opportunity for anyone who are still interested in collecting the aerial bots, so they can have the combiner Superion. And if you are a fan of combiners from Transformers, this is definitely part of set you want to try to acquire. However, again, it will take time and effort as the figures are released throughout different waves of release rather than just being put on the shelves altogether. And despite all these minor issues I just mentioned, and overall, this is still a very nice action figure. And if you like everything you've seen from this video, you can you should definitely work on getting this figure if your budget allows. One more thing I want to remind everyone that if you want an action figure for display and one that you want to be able to like keep standing for extended period of time, this is definitely one you want because it has, for lack of better description, big feet because the tail section that transform into part of the robot form's feet. Back here, again, this essentially makes this figure having really big feet, which in turn help it to stand on its own for like really long time. So unlike a lot of action figure without any display stand or support, this one is able to maintain standing for like pretty much as long as possible. So if you had headache trying to keep any of your action figure standing and you want one that can stay up for a long time, this is definitely something you want. This concludes my review for this set. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel, and please check out my other videos in my channel, and there will be other videos for the other aerial bots from this set and the ones that form Superion. If you have any question, please leave them in the comment section. I will answer with the best of my knowledge and ability.